and welcome to another Draw With Me video. Welcome to my subscribers and welcome to you, my random visitor. This is going to be a little bit shorter because it is 8 o'clock in the morning, and unfortunately I still have other stuff to do than draw on my comic. And actually I have to say that I don't really feel like I have time for a YouTube video right now, but I also didn't want to make you wait for so long to have a new video. I mean, I don't have a lot of subscribers. I am currently just a tiny little bit away from the 100 subs. Maybe I'm going to make a giveaway for my 100 subs. I don't know. Wait a moment. I was thinking about maybe giving away this ACO I drew, the sketch card of Miller's Boy. It's my 4th sketch card. And yeah, maybe I wanted to make reach 100 subs. I'm going to make maybe going to make a giveaway where you can comment on the video, and everybody who commented has a chance to win this ACO. So maybe share the message if you. So I'm currently again working on my comic. I have recently published the cover art. Well, it's a pseudo cover because I would wish for it to be a little bit more elaborated, but I don't have. Well, I could make the time, but that would push the actual work on the comic further behind again, and I think it is more important to start and get something done on the comic, and then later on I can make a new cover, or yeah, I can change it if I want to. So the story is more important than a fancy cover, I would say. For now. I want to have a fancy cover one day. And yeah, just to explain you a bit, this is, if you look at it like this, got a little bit too much light. So you can actually see that there is a lot of fluffy green colors, and a poor little animal that gets thrown on the ground here has also a little bit of brown on it. And what I did here is I just well, I watch a lot of Jeff Lafferty's video at the moment. I'm going to leave a link to his YouTube channel as well in the description box. And he does a lot of mixed media techniques, and he has an airbrush and works a lot with his airbrush. Now, I don't have an airbrush and I don't want to invest in one, also because I don't think that airbrush is going to be a good medium for me. So I still think that this idea of the way how he uses washes and makes a very thin coat of a color before he starts going in with more acrylics or pencil colors or stuff, it's a really good start. It's like you already know what you're getting to. You already have an atmosphere all around the picture. And I want to try that out for my comic. I've tried it on the cover art. So like This is actually the cover art for the comic. I've already published the cover on Furfinity and on DeviantArt, and I'm going to leave you the links to that as well in the description box so you can take a look. And because I don't have the airbrush, I decided that I'm going to try to make a similar approach but with pastel colors. So I have a box of soft pastels. I also have a few hard ones. It works with soft and hard pastel. And I simply look at what color I'm going to put where on the image, and I grade off a little bit of the pastel chalk. So like I have a chalky powder on the drawing, and then I just smear it all around so that it gets this really thin coat of color that's a little bit irregular. And then I start from there. So I don't have a white. I have line arts with no white background. So I already have the atmosphere that I need. Another thing which I found is really great and very interesting to look at is the process Jeff Lafferty uses in his webcomic. He's drawing the Berserkernaut. I think it's berserkernaut.com or berserkernaut.net. Just look it up. It's on Webtoons and all stuff. And the duck. And he's the first one I saw which actually does a comic by single paintings. So you can, for example, see this is one DIN A5 drawing. It's a standalone drawing, but it's actually the first panel of the first page of my comic. And he does it that he scribbles out what kind of panels he would like in his comic. So he makes like a storyboard or thumbnail of his page. And then he scribbled out the figures, the posings, the characters that he wants to have, what actions he wants to happen. And he makes single drawings of them, or single paintings. And I think that is so cool because you always have them in one single piece. And when you scan them in, sure, you have a little bit more digital touch-up to do, which you gotta do anyway if you work in traditional. But you're very flexible if you, for example, later on see that a panel would look better on a different place. You can simply change it up. And I think that's absolutely awesome. And I'm wondering why I haven't seen that before somewhere. Or maybe there are also other people doing that, just not showing it, as he is showing a lot of his process. So yeah, I got the idea for the single drawings from his way of making comics. I want to try that. Because also I feel that there's a little less pressure on working on the drawing. As you always know, if you mess up one panel, you don't mess up the whole page. If the whole page is messed up, it's messed up. Or you have to glue a new sheet over the panel that you messed up, and then it's all, well, all the traditional ways to avoid mistakes or build in mistakes in comics. You don't have to do that if you make single drawings. I also, on the other side, you can already see, you saw it before, there is a sound effect that's going to be put above the animal. So this is going to be thrown on the ground. It's the opening to the comic. It's a dead animal. There's a wound. just got hunted. It's a game that got hunted for food. And the hunters throw it on the ground as they arrive in the village. And there will be a loud thump of a sound effect. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I plan on implementing the making of my comic into Patreon. And once I start the comic supported tier, I still have to arrange some stuff, but let's say if I have finished, by the time I have finished the first page, I'm going to open up the support system for this comic on Patreon. And I'm going to stop, or at least show less of the making of the comic in public, because I want my Patreons who support the comic to have a special access, like extra content that they, your $5 are worth something to me. I mean, they allow me to make my art, and I want to give you something back. So I have decided that I want to make the comic free for everybody to read on the internet, because I want to show my story. I want people to read it. And of course, I'm going to need a little bit of support to be able to do this longer, or to draw more. The more money I get by supporters, the less paid commissions I have to take. And so after the first page, this stuff which I'm showing here is mostly going to become extra content. I'm still going to continue the Draw With Me series, fear not. I like the Draw With Me. This format, this talking to the camera while I'm drawing on something. It's just not going to be drawings from the comic anymore. I might make something public from time to time, but rarely. Really, really rarely. Because I really want my patrons to have all the special contents they can get. I'm going to show them my storyboard, my sketches. Also, this page, I have it lying besides me. It's all scribbled out. Also, the second page is already all scribbled out. In my script, I have about 5 or 6 pages which are already ready with the dialogue. So yeah, you're going to see all that stuff, which I'm not going to show now. I'm not going to show the scribbles. The scribbles are really exclusive Patreon in the future. And the only thing is, I'm only going to publish the scribbles and the thumbnails of a page when I've published the page. So you're not going to get any spoilers by being a Patreon supporter. So yeah, I think I'm going to stop the recording here now. Oh, one thing I want to tell you, that's why I started recording and thought this is also going to be a short one. I want to show you something. I got this cup, and it's written Film Academy Baden-Württemberg alumni on it. No animals were harmed. This is my diploma cup. And I also got a diploma. I recently finished my studies, and I'm now officially not a student anymore. So now I have to completely start the next chapter of my life, and somehow be a grown-up. Yeah. I hope you still enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. And remember, maybe you can help me to reach my 100 subs so that I can plan a giveaway for this ACEO card. And I'll see you next time. Bye.